All right, constructions. Is that the right side? Yes, it is. Construct an angle bisector of the given angle. So let's get into it. Start by simply making a circle centered at point B, or you can just do an arc that makes sure the, intersect the angle twice. And honestly, I should have started with this, I'm sorry. Make a segment that we're just gonna use as our starting point here. You can give it a name if you like. And that same arc, radius, you're gonna use that same radius to make another arc or circle around this point. All right, and once you've done that, you're just going to use these two intersection points, measure that distance with your compass, okay? And you're just going to mark that exact same distance starting from this intersection point on the circle. So right there. And the wider it is, the harder it is to tell. But after you do that, you're just going to connect the points like that. That seems a little bit off, doesn't it? Hold up, that doesn't seem right. I may not like it. Let's try that one more again. There we go. A little bit further up. Right there. Okay, that's better. I didn't like that one. It just was really wide. And then we're gonna connect it to the endpoint like so. Voila. Okay, and I'll make the little mark that should have been there. It's just hard to see. There we go, that's better. All right, so there you go. Number 18, construct the angle bisector of the given angle. So bisector, you're gonna need 3 circles or 3 arcs if you're using arcs. So I'm gonna start with the first circle or arc. And then from there, you are going to use each of those intersection points. I'm going to widen this a bit, making sure that they're gonna crisscross. So I'm gonna make another circle or arc from here. And I'm gonna make another same size circle or arc from here. So these two arcs have to be the same radius as each other. They don't necessarily have to be the same as the first one, but to each other, they have to have the same radius. And then it creates an intersection point out here, just connect it to point Q. There you go. And oops, sorry. And so we've created a beautiful angle bisector. Number 19, construct an angle twice the given measure. So we're basically doing this and we're gonna do it like twice to make it wider. So step one, let me start right this time. I'm gonna start by drawing a line segment upon which to start. And I'll do it this way, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and I'm gonna take my compass. I'm gonna draw an arc like that, and I'm going to draw an arc the same radius, but I'm gonna go bigger because I know I'm going to widen the arc, I guess you could say. Increase the measure of the arc there. So now I'm going to use these 2 intersection points, and let me go ahead and put a point right here on that intersection as well. So I'm going to measure the distance between these 2. Very close, but not quite. Okay, and then I'm going to mark it twice. So boom, mark it there, and then it creates an intersection, and then from that intersection point, I'm gonna mark it here. And that is the point we're gonna go through with our ray or line segment or line or whatever. And there you go. Twice the size of the first angle. And for our last one here, we have construct an angle twice the given, oh, it's the same thing. Okay, you can do this one, try this one. So try now. All right, flipping it over. Construct the end center of the triangle. So end centers are created by 3 angle bisectors. Okay, so we're gonna make 3 angle bisectors. Let's start with, I'm gonna put a point because I feel like we like the dots. Rather, I'm gonna put a dot on the points. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna start with this guy, and then it's gonna create 2 intersection points, And then I'm just gonna do this and this from each of those intersection points. Notice I really didn't do much change in the compass. I didn't change the compass at all, and that's fine. It's probably easier that way. Okay, so first angle bisector is done. Now I'm going to repeat that here. I'm gonna bring it in a little bit just to give some room. Actually, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then I'm gonna do it from here, but I'm gonna try to darken it some because I'm already having trouble seeing where I need to go. Oh, okay, so this time it needs to go through here. And again, you're using these intersection points to make these arcs. And then when they intersect, we're just gonna draw a line through. Looks a little bit off. I might have to come back and do that one again. Let's see what happens with this third one. So I'm going to start with, start with a good arc. What a concept. All right, once I got that, I got two intersection points, one here and one here. And I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so I can have some space out here. Make an arc from that intersection point, make an arc from that intersection point. Well, I need to make this one bigger in this direction because it was not crisscrossing the first one. Okay, so this is where those two arcs intersect, and so I'm going to draw the line from the vertex through there. Whoop. And oh, look at that. Okay, I guess it was good. It just didn't look good at the time. All right, so this point that I obnoxiously put a dot on is our end center. Number 22, construct a circumcenter. So a circumcenter is made up of 3 perpendicular bisectors. So let's do our perpendicular bisector. So we got a point here. That point was obnoxious, sorry. And then there. Okay, so we're using those 3 points, those 3 vertices. So I'm gonna start by making, I need to go more than halfway because I'm doing perpendicular bisector, so sure, that's way more than halfway. I'm doing too much. All right, so I'm gonna just do arc down there and up there. You can just do one full arc. I'm just not wanting to do, I guess I should have, shucks. Try that again. Okay, there we go. And we just need that intersection here and here, and then draw a line through there. Fantastic. Okay, and then we're gonna repeat those steps from here. Now, I could just use the same arc and extend it. I think I might just give that a shot, so I don't have to have a whole bunch of different lines going on up and through here. Yep, that was a wise choice, if I do say so myself. And then we're just gonna connect those intersections. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh, is this a right triangle? I think it is. And then from here, okay, well, might as well since we're already doing it. Just continue that arc at this point. There we go. And then from here on this side, continue that arc, make this life a bit easier. And then this intersection point and this intersection point, just gonna whoop. All right, well, this is obviously either a right triangle or very close because the circumcenter is right on the what looks like to be the hypotenuse. But yeah, that's the circumcenter right there. Right there. Okay, centroid. Construct the centroid of the triangle. Centroid, sorry, is made up of medians. So 3 medians. And don't forget, a median goes from midpoint to vertex. So we gotta figure out where the midpoint is. So I'm just gonna do a little whoop and a whoop. I didn't put the dots on the corners of the triangle, sorry. You feel free to do that if that helps. I'm gonna just put like a little wispy line right here, and I'm just gonna put a dot, because all we need is the midpoint. I'll repeat that 2 more times. Bring that in a little bit, because I don't want it to get crazy. That looks halfway. Did I do it too close? Ooh, no it wasn't, but didn't it look close to me? Okay, I'm gonna do a little wispy line. And that tells me exactly where I need to put my midpoint. One more time. One time for the one time. Here and here. Okay, little line and midpoint. All right, fantastic. Now that we've got all 3 midpoints, we're going to connect each midpoint to a vertex because medians go from midpoint to vertex. You know what? That looks like an if-then arrow. Let me not. To vertex. Okay. So vertex to midpoint. Beautiful. Vertex to midpoint. And vertex to midpoint. Struggles. I want it to be crispy. I'm trying to make it crispy, y'all. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Got a little bit off, but that's all right. Okay. And there is the centroid. And centroids are always inside the triangle, which you should have seen in our Carnegie lesson. And orthocenter, everybody's favorite, said no one ever. Okay, here we go. It has to be perpendicular, but we're not doing perpendicular bisector, but we're kind of doing it. So we got to figure out equidistant. So that was unhelpful. That was so entirely unhelpful. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my little life together. Hold up. That's why you shouldn't talk and construct, Miss E. Okay, I was trying not to have to do that, but anyway. We need to find 2 points that are equidistant. Oh, perfect, though. It intersects right there, which I should have just done from Jump Street, now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, we need 2 points that are equidistant from this vertex, so we can use our 2 arcs construction to find the midpoint, or to find the bisector, I guess? Perpendicular line. To find the perpendicular line, that's what I meant to say. So, I'm sorry. From this point, you make an arc or a circle. From this point, you make an arc or a circle. And then it should line up perfectly with this vertex. Let's see if I did right. Okay. She ready? Do I need to go up or down? We'll find out in a minute. All right, so that's an altitude. Oh, I forgot to say that. Orthocenter is constructed from 3 altitudes. Okay, so 3 altitudes. Altitudes are perpendicular and they go through vertex. Okay, so remember that. All right, any hoozles, we gotta do this 2 more times. Yay. All right, so I'm gonna start from here and I'm just gonna line it up with this because I feel like that would be a smarter thing to do. I learned that. Okay, I realized that was not helpful because this has to intersect the line, not just graze the line. Let's try that again. Okay, otra vez. I'm gonna just go a little, you know what? That's fine, I'm just gonna live my life. I'm not afraid. I was gonna try to line it up, but it was too much work. So I'm gonna put this intersection point here. Now this intersection point, I need to extend the side a bit, and I'm gonna do this very lightly. Light. Okay, and here is that intersection point. Okay, now we're gonna do our 2 arcs from there. And honestly, you don't even have to do full arcs like I did. You could just do like a little half and half situation just to figure out where they intersect because it's gonna go through the vertex anyway. So we have our intersection point here and then just connect it to the vertex. You don't need 3 lines, 3 points to make a line. You just need 2. Okay, so it's looking like our orthocenter is gonna be here, but let me do 1 more for good measure to make sure I can screw things up. That's always important, right? No, a little bit more. Yeah, whatever, I'll just go as much as I feel like. All right, so I make that. I see the intersection point here, but I need another point over here that's gonna be equidistant to that one. So let me extend. Phew. And then they intersect right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna come down here, make an arc from that point of intersection, make an arc from that point of intersection. They did not crisscross, so let me do that a little bit further. Okay, there we go. So that intersection is here, and I'm just gonna go through that vertex. And yas, there it is, the orthocenter. The bane of all of our existence. I'm sorry to be a hater, but the orthocenter really just does too much. But hopefully that was helpful, y'all.